Two G's on the belt, yeah, I'm feeling this girl, now I'm feeling myself.
Yes. We are back.
Yes.
2G's in the pod, your mom's favorite duo, back in the studio again. What are you telling me, Andy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm a bit annoyed. Obviously, we had some mishaps with Zoom just now. The recording I say the recording cut. I forgot to press record of it, but we move. Apologies for that. But anyway, I'm excited. We've got a special guest back in the building. Back on Zoom. We've got Acesiz. Acesiz is back.
What's going on, guys?
What are you saying, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Obviously, it's been a while. Yeah. It has been a while. I remember the last one was with Cavelli and Shea Biz.
Yeah.
Mix,
man, I saw him.
I know.
He did a mix on No Signal, I think.
I know. So big up Shea Biz, big up Cavelli as well. I haven't really spoke to Cavelli for a while, but me and Shea Biz, like, we last spoke when he got me on like one of his podcast things that he's trying to do.
He started doing that as well, hasn't he?
Yeah. He got me on that, and that was pretty fun. So yeah, big up to Shea Biz, man. He's definitely doing a lot with the DJ stuff and whatever.
Yeah, no, he's going in. It's good to see. But anyway, yeah, man. How are you? How you been? It's been a while.
It has been a while. Like, I've just been, obviously I haven't put out music for a while, if you've noticed. My last track I put out was that Brooklyn song, which I put out 4 months ago. Yeah, but that was actually recorded in like sometime early 2019.
Okay.
So it's like, even though I put it out now, actually not early 2019, I think it was around September time 2019. Okay. But it took months for us to put it out. Like, that wasn't on me, that was on, on their side. But it's out now anyway. It's one of those ones where, like, I haven't released music for a while because I've just been focused on other things. I've been focused on business and stuff like that. So sometimes you have to kind of take a sacrifice in order to, push something else up. So sometimes you got to focus on something else to bring something else up. But it's like, if you're focusing on two things at one time, then they're always just going to be on this level. But if you focus on one thing, then you can push that one up more, and then you go to the next. Rather than focusing on two things, they're just always going to stay stagnant. So that's kind of like what it was for me. Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been cool. I mean, we said it earlier, but it's been a crazy year, right? So just been trying to hang in there, and just looking ahead, man, looking forward, trying to. We've done our best with this, trying to put out as much content as we can, but it's hard.
I see that, man.
It's hard in lockdown.
I do see that. It is hard, but like, that's why you have to do stuff like this.
I'm doing gymnastics. All right, what can I put out now? But at least just trying to keep a little bit of momentum until things kind of go back to normal, in a sense where we can get back in the studio, like record a bit more regularly and stuff. But I mean,
what about you, Green Lantern? That's your name. That's your name today, Green Lantern, because of the green. You know what I mean? The green. Go on.
I'm trying. Nah, I don't think things are ever gonna go back to normal though. Like,
I think we could get. I don't think it'll go back to normal
world now,
the way it was. But to be fair, there's things that needed to change anyway, so it's good that it's not going to go back to exactly how it was.
Yeah, I kind of like the Zoom recordings. It's so much easier to make them. Like, I don't need
it's easier to make.
And you're in the comfort of your own home. You haven't got to worry about traveling here, traveling there.
Do you not feel that sometimes something's a bit missing from like having interaction in person?
Yeah, of course. I was thinking about that today.
I was actually thinking. I was like, if the studio were open now, would I want to like be going back on a regular basis? And I'm like, because it is actually a lot easier in the sense of like, we're just at yard. I'm in my room right now. Like, you don't really have to go anywhere.
But I feel like this is making people even more lazier though. It's the same thing with like convenience, like everything we can get to our door now. Like, my brother was talking to me about it the other day. Like, he's smart, like he's smart. He's 17, but he knows a lot. And he's just like, like back in the day, like we had to go out and, like sometimes travel to different countries to get certain products. Now it's like the products come straight to our door, even if they are from different countries, like they're stored in a warehouse, they come straight to our door through services like Amazon. And it's like, we haven't got that same kind of get up and go that we used to have before to go get certain things, because now it's like everything comes to our door. He's like, furniture, you don't have to go to furniture shops now. It comes straight to your door, like everything comes to your door. So, and I feel like because of that, a lot of these brick and mortar businesses, for those people that don't know what brick and mortar is, it's just a business that has a shop or some sort of presence outside. Like, a lot of these businesses are closing down.
Yeah.
And the little ones are really struggling, but it's like the big ones that you never thought would close down are closing down. Look at
Yeah.
somebody like Cineworld, for example. You know, they're a big cinema. They put out today that they're closing down like all of their cinemas in the UK or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen bakery shops close down. I've seen this shop, that shop close down. So
there's certain shops that I think it's difficult for them to stay. Like something like, you know how they were trying to get everyone to go Costa Coffee and to them places.
Some of these things that I don't really care about. Like, if
that's what I'm saying.
we
Like,
talk
like
about,
it's down to
things closing, like a Cineworld, a Costa Coffee. I mean, it's nothing to me.
But it's still sad. Like, it's still sad. Like on the business's side, because that's somebody that has a whole dream, has a whole brand. That's kind of what I think about.
Costa Coffee, that's a global corporate. See, where for me it's an issue is the small businesses. Like,
but no, I do feel bad for the people that work at Costa Coffee and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But that's a problem. That's a problem across all businesses, though. That's not even the brick and mortar problem. Like, the whole market has gone smaller.
But it's even for the CEOs, remember, like they got like big overheads to cover as well. So it's like a lot of people, they might feel sorry for the workers, which is true. But you got to think about them. Like, they have overheads as well. They got things to pay as well.
Most of these CEOs will survive.
I don't care about them.
You know what I'm saying? But it's true. But I'd be thinking about that too. Obviously. Like, they're in a better position than we are. But as they say, more money, more problems anyway. Like, a lot of people feel like rich people ain't got problems, but they definitely do have a lot of problems for sure. But it's just like, I feel like talking about the convenience thing, I feel like it just makes people a lot more lazy now. It's like, even though you're at home, it's like you haven't really got that same kind of get up and go, that same drive, that same motivation. Do you know what I mean? And as you said, that same human interaction. Sometimes you think being at home is going to be easier, but sometimes it's harder. It's like basic workout plans. Some people, like, they've really been working out during quarantine at home. Other people like me, I can't do that. I have to go to the gym. I haven't got that motivation to work out at home. But I admire people that do. But it's like different people work differently. So the whole fact that a lot of things are closing down and, you know, we can't go out here, we can't go out there, it's affecting a lot of people, especially if you're an extrovert. Like, I'm an extrovert. Like, I love being around people. If I'm not around people, like, it F's me up inside. Do you know what I mean? Because I like being around people. I don't like just being closed off too much. You know, like, it's very important for us to have human interaction. You know, but what this quarantine has taught me, though, is that I can be introvert as well. Do you know what I mean? I can be a bit of both, but as a whole, I'm definitely extrovert. But I was kind of like more in touch with my introvert side. Do you know what I mean? And then you realize like how much things you can get done from your crib. You can get a lot of stuff done, like just being in a crib.
Yeah, no, I hear that, man. I hear that, definitely. Before we go any further, obviously we're all about the music here, so let's just quickly break down what everyone's been listening to. I know we did this already, but we'll do it again. Let's go. Acesiz, what you been listening to, man?
So from the top of my head, Big Sean, Detroit 2, and 21 Savage new album as well. I've listened to. But yeah, I consume so much music. It's like I can't tell you everything I listen to, because sometimes I don't even know. I'm always listening to different people. But like, yeah, the ones that do stick with me because they're the most recent is Big Sean, Detroit 2, and 21 Savage's album. I think that dropped yesterday or the day before.
You talk about consuming a lot of music, and I also consume a lot of music. How has your music consumption, has it changed much because of the lockdown? Because for me personally, I found that I'm finding it more difficult to, especially songs that I would usually like those singles that you hear in like clubs and that kind of stuff. Obviously, we're not going to clubs and we're not outside like that. I'm not really enjoying them the same. So I'll listen to a couple projects here and there, but I'm not even really rushing to listen to music how I used to. I'm listening to a lot more podcasts than I used to listen to compared to music. But yeah, how's your music consumption changed?
I mean, more time now. Like, I mean, like, I always keep up to date with like new music that drops. So obviously, I'm subscribed to like JRM, Link Up, Worldstar Hip Hop, all these kind of channels. So any new music that drops, I watch every single one of those videos. You know what I mean, on YouTube. So I'm always like up to date with music. When it comes to like whether or not my music consumption has changed, like on that side of things, no, because I've been doing this religiously since I was like 15. Every day, you know, on YouTube, like checking out new music. I used to do YouTube and Worldstar, but that's way too much. I used to go on Worldstar every day, check out all of the videos, check out YouTube videos. I probably used to consume about 50 videos a day, but that's way too much. Now I probably consume about 20 videos a day, but that's still a lot. Now maybe even 30, 40. That's still a lot of videos, but it's like, like I'm always up to date with like new music. So for me, it's like music that I enjoy, I listen to in the car, because I've got a a subwoofer in the back.
Okay.
So the bass really hits. So it's
yeah.
like, if I enjoy music, then I'm enjoying music when I'm driving around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, or like, even like, you know, I have speakers here. When I'm getting ready, I listen to music and I may enjoy it. But driving around, I enjoy it. But yeah, because we haven't got that same kind of interaction with going to clubs and stuff like that, certain music is not going to have the same effects on you no more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I definitely agree with you. But I think that I'm definitely consuming more maybe now than before, because it's like now you're just that crib. It's like, you know what I mean?
But you think like the type of music has changed? Because like,
yeah, it's true.
I don't know,
my type
like,
has changed.
If you're saying
I'm like on an
you really
educational
like a club
journey
banger
now.
right now,
Yeah.
How go on, what you say?
What were you saying? I didn't hear you said.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, like, do you really want to hear like a club banger right now? Like, I feel like I've been listening to a lot more introspective sort of stuff.
Yeah, I watched Kanye did, you know, he started this thing, New and Talk, where he sits down with an artist on Zoom and they talk for like an hour.
I know he started it. I haven't watched it yet.
I watched his one with Gets. I think that was the first episode, and they were all saying. I mean, they were both saying like the music with substance, like the stuff that's not just sort of a quick hit here and there, is the stuff that's sort of lingering with them in this period. And that's probably to do with it, like the fact that just the setting that you're listening to music has changed to prior to lockdown and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, what have you been listening to, Isaac?
The Detroit 2, that Big Sean album. I like I said before, I think it was a bit long, but in general I like that album, especially like the first half of it. There's like some Spillage City album that came out, Spillage City, like JID, Earth Gang, and then like number of collaborators. Yeah. That's sick. I really like that album.
So my brother was telling me about it. I need to listen. I heard there's one track that they put a video out for JID spitting on his like back.
Like End of the World, no? End of Days.
Something like that.
They put out one called End of Days, but that whole album is live. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely recommend giving that a spin. That's mainly it, you know. I haven't listened to too much music recently. I've kind of been like you, like I've been sort of listening to podcasts, like reading. Like I haven't listened to too much recently. Maybe it is because I don't know. I'm just not always getting that vibe right now to listen to music. But I will check out 21 Savage album that just came out. Yeah. I started listening to the Nines album. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The Nines album.
All right. Yeah.
The Nines album. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really too much of a big fan of the new Nines album, to be honest. Like, listen, I like it.
Nines enough for this podcast, bro.
I liked it.
I quite liked it.
No. I'm not saying that I don't like it, but I'm just saying I'm not the biggest fan of it. I prefer like his first, you know, like Church Road to Hollywood, and I prefer One Foot In, One Foot Out, and I prefer like, you know, like those old tapes. But like the new one, I feel like it was like kind of more commercial, which is a good shot for him. But I just feel like, you know, like the Nines that I'm used to listening to is like, I kind of prefer that.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Yeah.
Heady One, let's talk about that. Heady One has a new project dropping.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to the same. I'm looking forward to the future and a Cash Page feature. Yeah.
Now for me as well, because Heady, looking at his trajectory, I've liked every one of his projects. Probably I think my favorite of his project. Well, actually, I didn't really like that kind of alternative thing he was doing on his last one. But before that, the Music and Road, I really like Music and Road. That was one of my favorite albums last year. So one of my favorite projects last year. So I feel like him coming now to do his debut album, like there's definitely a different focus to him, and I feel like it's definitely gonna bang.
Put a Paper has the hardest.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Put a Paper has the hardest album of the year. I'm sorry, but he does.
I haven't listened to it
yet. He does. Like he really came with that real rap. Yeah, Put a Paper. I don't know how I forgot about him, but yeah, Put a Paper for real.
As well,
yeah.
In terms of what I've been listening to, like you heard, we started with Bryson Tiller. Bryson's back. He dropped his album on Friday as well.
What was it saying?
It was all right. It wasn't amazing, but for me, I'm just happy to get something because the guy was silent for like 3 years. And not only that as well, I think he's trying to go back to the sort of trap soul sound that he had, because I think he realized that when he tried to do what he tried to do with his last album didn't really work.
Yeah.
Even though to me it wasn't. I mean, I liked it. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't.
There were some okay songs. It was all right.
Like I still listened to some of it, but Definitely, you can see that he's trying to go back to the trap soul thing. I mean, he's called it anniversary. It's the he's dropped it on the 5-year anniversary of trap soul or something. Even the album cover looks like the trap soul cover. So he's trying to go back to what made it successful, which I hear. And honestly, like, it was just nice to sort of listen to because he put out the deluxe edition of trap soul. It was nice to listen to that and sort of. It took me back to 2015 times, the bubble jacket, the hat, all that.
He influenced a lot of people. Like, in fashion, he influenced a lot of people.
I'm one of them, man. I can't lie.
Yeah.
even musically influenced quite a lot of people, right?
Yeah, as well.
Musically, he did. Yeah, that's true as well. That's true.
Wait, this album came out a while ago. But what do you guys think of the Party Next Door album?
I didn't hear it, to be honest. So yeah, I can't talk on that.
Didn't hear it at all.
Nah.
It was good.
Wow.
It was good, but I thought I preferred it to P3, but I still think his best stuff was P1 and P2. So like, I don't know. I just feel like because with him and with The Weeknd as well, I feel like they've changed their sounds a bit from the stuff that I like.
Yeah. But I like Party Next Door's album though. I liked P3 as well. To be fair, I like this one more.
P3, I found
that was vibes. I was listening to that for a good period of time. I think it dropped in the summer, right?
No, it dropped right at the start.
Yeah, I was listening to it for a while. Weeknd's new music I'm not that fond of, but
it's too poppy for me.
Yeah.
But you know what it is, yeah? I saw someone tweet that R&B, this has been the strongest year for R&B since the 90s, which I'm not 100% I'd agree with, but I will say it's been a very strong year for R&B. And I don't know if it's because like lockdown's got me in my feelings or something, but like I've been listening to a lot of R&B, man, and I feel like we've had a lot of good projects, like from loads of people that I didn't even really listen to before, like Giveon dropped 2. I didn't even really know who he was until this year. Who else? Like Janae dropped something, Summer Walker dropped something. Like, we've had releases from everyone, and Kehlani dropped as well. And I'm been like, you know, it's been a good year for R&B. I think once we get to the end of the year and I kind of go back and listen through, I think I'll find that a lot of the sort of better projects this year have been R&B projects. But yeah, so moving on, Acesiz, what have you been up to, man? I've noticed that you've been putting out a lot of content on YouTube.
Yeah.
You mentioned about trying to sort of shift your focus a little bit, so that's not solely on music but on other things.
Yeah.
So you want to go into more detail about that?
For sure. So obviously, like, let's start with the YouTube stuff. So I've been doing reaction videos. So like mainly to like UK rap. I did do, I think, like 1 or 2 like American reaction videos, but mainly to UK rap, because I know that reaction videos is something that takes off and is actually kind of enjoyable, you know, like just to listen to music and critique it. But like reaction videos, like, you know, like they pull in a good amount of views. And there's people that just do reaction videos and their channels are like almost 1 million. Well, I mean, some of them are millions. Like those 2 guys, I can't remember what they're called in America. I can't remember their names, but like those 2, like those 2 guys, they're on like how many millions of subscribers, and they just do reaction videos. And then one of them started doing rap as well. Do you know what I mean? So he used that as leverage. So for me, it's just like thinking of content to put out. Like, what content can I put out that's good, that people enjoy, that can bring in, you know, views, bring in traction, etc., and that's not too hard to edit, because I edit it straight off of my phone on iMovie. It takes me about 10 minutes to edit. Do you know what I mean? Because what I do, I've realized some reactors, they just watch a whole video and then they talk about it afterwards. So then that's what I done. When I first started, I was trying to do the stop and the pause and the this and the that. But sometimes you can still get flagged by YouTube, like, if you do that. So I'm just like, let me just watch the whole video and talk about it afterwards. Like, if YouTube flag the video, they flag the video. But at least I didn't waste time trying to, like, you know, chop and change certain things when it comes to editing. So that's what I do. And then I talk about it afterwards. And at least people can enjoy the song. Because I know sometimes if it's a song that I just heard, but the guy keeps chopping and changing, sometimes I just want to hear the song, like, during your reaction. So I kind of feel like it kind of works in your favor as well. So that's what I do. Well, you know, what I was doing, I haven't done it for a while. I haven't dropped something on my YouTube channel for like a month now. But I need to get back on it. Yeah, I need to get back on it. The last one I done was with my cousin. We are just having like a
I saw that you in the car talking about
just a conversation about like how people measure success and stuff like that. But it's just like for me, I'm just trying to be like more versatile. I'm trying to be more than just an artist, you know. Matter of fact, I need to stop using the word trying. Like somebody told me the other day, like don't use the word trying because you're doing it. But I'm being more than just an artist, you know, like I'm putting out different kind of content, and I'm just kind of like, I'm trying to kind of build a more, I'm building like, yeah, exactly. Like I'm building something where people can actually know me for me, and people can see different elements of me. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's so important for a brand. And that's why somebody like H has done so well, because he does vlogs and he does this and he does, you know, he does that. But yeah. On this channel, like there's some vlogs and stuff. But somebody like even like my boy Muller Juice, like look at him, like you know, like Muller Juice has done very well with the Mad Unk stuff and the reaction videos and this and that, and do you know what I mean? And even his music. So he's kind of, you know, like doing things like kind of how I'm doing things. So it's just like, I feel like it's important. And I feel like a lot of artists now, if you've looked at their YouTube channels, they're doing different kind of videos now. Like, you know, like rappers and singers and whatever, they're doing different kind of videos. So I think it's important as a creative, because as an artist, you're a creative, just to do creative things. Do you know what I mean?
You know, I think there's definitely value in it, especially from a branding perspective.
Yeah, it's all about,
If you're trying to, as an artist,
it's about building leverage.
Yeah, not only that, as an artist, the most valuable thing you can do is connect with your audience.
Exactly, facts.
If you have to find a way to connect with your audience outside of just the music, especially now that you can't even have live shows or anything like that. And we'll talk about how sort of COVID has affected the music industry and just affected creatives in general. But it's like, you have to, if the way you sort of connect with your audience is through, you know, putting out content on YouTube or something like that, then I can only see it as a benefit to your sort of brand, a benefit to what you're trying to do with the as an artist. So yeah, but yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, how's COVID affected sort of just the music industry in general, but you specifically as an artist?
So like COVID has affected the music industry in ways that, like, you know, artists can't get out there and perform like they used to perform. So remember, when it comes to music, like the biggest bag for an artist was through doing shows. So it's like, now that they cut that, you know, they need to find different ways of how to generate income. So the labels are literally pushing people to do stuff online, you know, like do online shows, like what Tory Lane's done. He done like a whole online concert or something like that on YouTube. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's like labels and artists are finding different ways of how to do things differently. But this is what I've been pushing from time, that like it's important for an artist to do more than just make music and put music out there. Do you know what I mean? But it's like now people are really, really starting to understand this. But people could have been years ahead if they would have thought about this God knows when. Do you know what I mean? God knows how long ago. But it's like they didn't. It's like it took this for them to kind of realize and understand that as an artist and as a creative, like there's more to it than just music. So how it's affected me is just like, obviously I haven't been in the studio for a while because I have a marketing company as well. Okay. So I've been focusing on my marketing company. Okay. So it's hard. It's like I'm kind of running 2 brands right now. Yeah. Like, you know, me as an artist plus that. So sometimes you have to take time out to focus on one thing in order to build that up and then go back to the next and bring that up. It's about building leverage. So for me, leverage has always been a big thing. Do you know what I mean? I've always been about leverage, and that's what labels want to see. Like when labels come to you and they sign you, they want to see that you have leverage. Yeah. So I feel like it's important to have that leverage, even for like brand deals, you know, like a brand sees the amount of followers you have or whatever, and they see how consistent you are. Then they'd be like, yeah, you know, like I want to do a deal with him because he has this much followers, that's this much reach, and he's consistent, and I like his style, and I like how he carries himself. Boom. And you'll be surprised at which kind of brands will hit you up. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, that's what it's about for me. It's just about building that leverage and just being more of a brand. Like I've never wanted to be the biggest artist in the world, so I don't have to be in the studio every day. That's never been my goal. My goal was just, you know, to become an artist and to make music. I mean, you can Google me and you can, you know, see that I'm established. Type in Acesiz, I have a whole Google page and everything. So it's just like, for me, like that's always kind of been my goal. It's just always, you know, been to be an artist and to be an entrepreneur, which I already am. You know what I mean? So it's like I've already made that dream come true. Now it's just about doing it on a bigger scale. But it's like the things that I wanted to accomplish, I've already accomplished. So for me, it's like, like that's what it's about now. It's about looking at different avenues. And I feel like as an artist, if you look at Jay-Z, look at Jay-Z's net worth, most of the money didn't come from music.
Yeah.
It came from other business endeavors. And that's why it's so important to, you know, to have that. Look at Diddy, like with Ciroc. Ciroc's not his, but he partnered with Ciroc and he pushed Ciroc through the music. It's the same thing with Bel-Air. Do you know what I mean? Rick Ross, you know, he pushed Bel-Air through the music. So that's what you have to do. You have to use the music to build leverage. Even clothing lines, you come up with a clothing line, you use your music to promote that, to push that. So that's what it's really supposed to be about. Do you know what I mean? It depends on what kind of artist you want to be. Some artists, like, you know, like they just want to make music all their life. They don't care if they're living off £100 a month. You know, them making music all their life is what they want to do. They're happy with that. They're successful in their eyes. You know what I mean? So you measure success differently. It just depends on what you kind of want to do with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But with me, I've never tried to be like the biggest artist in the world. I've never tried to be the biggest artist in the UK. I've just always tried to be myself and in my own lane. And that's kind of like what I'm doing with my YouTube channel. That's why I haven't dropped anything on these major platforms. Because I wanted to show people that you can do it on your own channel. And if I didn't take that step, then my channel wouldn't have been on almost 800,000 views. Like my channel was almost on 800,000 views.
I didn't realize.
You know what I mean? Like across the channel. But if I would have just listened to what people said, my channel wouldn't have hit that number at all. And it's growing, you know, like it's growing. So for me, it's just like you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your brand. And, you know, people just want to get rich quick scheme or like a quick flip, but life doesn't work like that. Do you know what I mean? And if you're trying to build a brand, it's all about longevity anyway. So you shouldn't look at it like, oh, you know, like this is something I want to build up in 3 years and then just be finished with it. Like, you know, this is something that you should do for the rest of your life. And there's a book on this called Ikigai. You guys should go check it out. It's a Japanese saying.
I've heard of it,
and it's all about like living your life, you know, on your purpose and to your purpose. And that's why like they survive so long out there, is because like they live their life to their purpose. And over there, they haven't got a word for retirement. Like they don't believe in retirement. Whereas over here, people are so focused on retiring that they don't look at like, you know, the grand scale of things. So for me, it's all about longevity. So
yeah, no, I hear that, man.
That's what it is.
No, that's good, man. That's good.
Yeah. To be fair, it's like, it is interesting though, because I feel like the way it's positioned now, people that are more like yourself, like have focused on different avenues, probably will be in a better position musically as well. Which is interesting, right? Like if you really think about it, the music industry itself was quite like old-fashioned, like a little bit archaic, right? It was a simple business model. Like it's just you sell records, you sell out shows, and they hadn't used to be too much beyond that. And pretty much everything that's come in, they push back against. Like streaming, they push back against. Like YouTube and all people like having music on YouTube, they push back against. So it's like they're kind of fighting against it, but now it's like the people who have put themselves in that position to have like an online presence should at least like benefit quite a lot from.
You're right. Talking about the music industry being archaic, Kanye's been screaming for the last few weeks about trying to get his masters back. What have you guys thought about all his rants? I mean, him pissing on the Grammy and everything. Like,
I haven't personally looked into it. So I'll let Acesiz go because I wasn't. I haven't been.
See that he pissed on his Grammy. You didn't see that?
To be honest, I didn't even see that. Like, I just saw the tweets that he put out.
You didn't see him piss on the Grammy, bro.
Nah, bro. I just saw the tweets that he put out, and I retweeted it, and I'm like, yes, facts. Like, because, like, as an artist, it's really important that you own your masters. You know, like your masters is like the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, so him trying to get back his masters, like, there's a lot of weight that your masters holds. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like nowadays as well, like loads of artists are trying to do things independently. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't really need a label anymore. But one thing you do need.
Do you think labels are outdated now?
Like I don't think labels are outdated. Well, they're becoming outdated. But remember, like labels have still got connections and they've still got a network, and that's why people kind of want to go to labels. Yeah. Because they're like, you know, they've already got certain connections. Yeah. They've already got their foot in the door. They've already got like, you know, the marketing budgets and the budgets to push you. Yeah. So that's why I would say like leverage is so important, but that's why like you should have like another business that is gonna help you put money into your music. Do you know what I mean? So you can kind of become your own label.
Yeah.
But without that, it's like you would need a major label, or you would need to sign to a label.
Because I think, I mean, I've always been sort of lent on the side of independent, people being independent rather than labels, but I sort of understand that signing to a label is, firstly, not everybody can be independent. Secondly, signing to a label definitely has benefits, and but I just think if you look at it now, I mean, Kanye West he's reached the summit of music. Like, he's literally at the pinnacle of music. His masters are probably worth 500 million. He said he's got the money to buy them and they won't sell it to him. So it kind of begs the question, like, why is it they won't sell it to him? Is it because they recognize that they basically got it for a steal and now they're making 80% off of everything he does, compared to him who actually put the work in, made the music, only making 20%. And basically, I just think, I don't know, it's kind of made me lean even further towards the whole either staying independent, or when they artists go and sit down with the labels, trying to do some sort of deal where it's not like a permanent thing, you get your masters, or and even looking at outside of music, the same thing's happening with Joe Budden trying to sort of his dispute with Spotify. Obviously, they ended their contract with Spotify ended and they didn't renew it. And he's talking about the same thing. It's like these sort of big corporations are kind of just trying to, they're building their sort of wealth off of the hard work of the content creators, of the creatives, the artists, etc. And they're not sort of trying to compensate the creatives in the way that they should.
Yeah,
I think is wrong, to be honest. And I think the industry, something has to happen. The industry has to change, because the creatives continue to get shagged, basically, and I don't think that's right. So,
and it's always like that, man.
How do you change it?
I don't know, because I don't think pissing on the Grammys is the way to go about it. but I think I mean, Kanye.
No, that's just funny though. That's just like that's entertaining.
He's trying to get the biggest artists like together. He's been saying, "Oh, I want to talk to Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick. I want to sit down with all three of you. Let's get our masters back. I want to win everyone's masters, or get everyone's masters back." But I think coming from Kanye, it's difficult to take it seriously because of his past ranting on any and everything, and also because everything he does seems to have a sort of egotistical side, kind of selfish aspect to it. Like, I reckon if Sony and Universal called him up and said, "All right, you can have all your masters back," then you wouldn't hear anything else. You wouldn't hear him talking about trying to get masters for everyone else, because once he's sorted, I think but I don't know, like, he might actually trying to change the industry and get everybody to sort of have ownership in it. But I don't know, I just think it's important that the sort of ownership aspect, I think, is very important.
And that's what Nipsey Hussle pushes, man, and that's why I'm such a big fan of Nipsey, you know, because he pushes ownership and everything like that. So
yeah, no, I think it's super important, because
super important.
No, but I'm just saying it's difficult, right? Like, if you're talking about someone signing their first contract or whatever, like,
which will probably be a 360 deal, so you're gonna get like messed up anyway.
Yeah. So how do you solve that? Like, you can't. I mean, even if you got the masters back for everyone who's currently in the industry, how do you stop people from signing away their masters?
Yeah.
I feel like people nowadays aren't. Well, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs, because people don't really sort of detail their deals and stuff. But I feel like that at least the knowledge is out there that when I come to sit down with a label, I don't have to just take what they put on the table. I can actually negotiate, see if, because I've heard that there's these like deals where you can sort of license, like, so for a few years, it's basically you use the label as a services company rather than being under the label. So it's like you use them for the marketing service and the sort of press and all the things that they can get you, and they get a sort of cut and everything. It's
kind of like publishing, like a publishing deal.
Exactly, yeah, and once you, like a pub deal, and like once you,
or like a single deal or an album deal.
Yeah, and then
I feel like single deals and album deals are good. It's better than, you know, you signing away your whole name.
It's like once you, but you need to know what you have to do that, right? Like, you need to like know what is possible for you. Plus, you probably need to have someone there, like some sort of a team, someone to help you with the contract negotiations, like.
Yeah,
and don't take their lawyers as well, because that's what they do. Don't take their lawyers as well, because a lot of them will tell you, "Oh, look, if you need a lawyer, we got a lawyer," but that lawyer's a part of their team. So you go and listen to this lawyer, and you know that labels have been the lawyer's best interest. So they're telling you this and that. You sign a deal thinking you're good, but that label's lawyer is their lawyer. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And that's happened.
Yeah,
that's happened a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You always got to read the fine prints on contracts in any
So
situation.
I was looking into, you see the Joe Budden thing, because I feel like that's quite pertinent, because a lot of podcasting is kind of blowing up at the moment. It's becoming an industry in itself. Yeah. So obviously there's going to be opportunities flying left, right, and center for all sorts of podcasts, and I feel like people are sort of looking, like people sort of saw, all right, I've signed with Spotify, so I've kind of made it, kind of thing. And now he's here complaining about him making more money off doing 8 episodes of his pull-up show on YouTube. He made more money off that than doing 2 episodes a week on Spotify for 2 years. And it's like, I think, because I looked into it and I saw that the reason Spotify, I've noticed a lot of the streaming companies are sort of trying to push the sort of podcasting aspect of their platform. And the reason they're doing that is because they don't make much money off of the music streaming, because the labels take so much out of it. Because obviously, if you want to have an artist's music on your streaming platform, you have to sort of pay the label to have, because the label is master, so you have to pay the label to get all their music on the streaming thing. And they've realized that with podcasting, there's no music, like record labels that you have to go through. So you can get access to the content without having to pay this mad overhead and stuff. And that's the reason that, firstly, music, like artists see such like small amounts of money from the streaming, because like they make like a quarter of a penny or something like that.
0.004 pence per Spotify
it's mad,
stream, bro.
Because
that's
it's
terrible.
like, bro, and it's like, and I do understand to an
1,000 streams is like £4. Like that's
I do understand to an extent, because I saw the other day Hamza, she's an artist, a UK artist, she's an R&B singer. She tweeted that if everybody that all my monthly listeners on Spotify just bought my album, then she would recoup and she'd be fine. But the thing is, like, people that are your monthly listeners aren't your biggest fans. Like, Spotify allows you to sort of be a window shopper. You can just listen to an artist here and there. You don't have to be invested into that artist. But at the same time, I think it's just a shake. Like, if the platform is built off of these people's content, to give them what do you say, 0.0004 or something of a penny per stream, it's a bit of a piss take. And then even when Spotify did their they had like a conference or something, an event earlier in the year, and then the question was put to the CEO of Spotify, like, are you going to change the sort of model to make it a bit fairer for the creators, for the artists and stuff? They basically said, nah, like, you just need to put out more music and just like agree with our algorithm and it will work for you. And then they point at examples like Drake and stuff. And it's like, bro, like, not everybody is going to be on Drake's level of streaming, where they have 1 billion streams and they put a song out. So it's like,
yeah, you can't really use Drake as the like.
But even Drake has a massive machine behind him, you know.
I mean, Drake is another one who's he doesn't own his masters either. He's off his deal now, so moving forward, he's probably eating way more. But
he's still hella rich though.
He's
still hella rich, but as they say, too much money ain't enough money. You know, that's what Lil Wayne says in one of his songs.
The way I see it is like, if it's a bit like what Kanye was tweeting. It's like, I feel like artists so far, I feel like we've been sort of blinded by the sort of extravagance and the wealth and everything. And then it's even on Stay Scheming when Drake says that bar about like, tell Lucian like to clear out the budget for me or whatever. And Lucian he's the CEO of Universal, I think. He gave a interview saying that, yeah, basically whatever Drake wants, we just sign on the dotted line because it's Drake, yeah. But the point is, if Lucian is deciding how much money you get, then you're being shagged still, because regardless if he gives you 500 million, it means he's giving you that money. It means he's got more, and he's making more of your
thing. Of course, it's an investment, man. It's an investment. Do you know what I mean? So like people, I think people have to understand labels as well. It's like they're investing in you. Do you know what I mean? Because it's an investment. So like you can't be mad at me if you're coming to me with a business proposition and you need my help and I expect something in return. You can't be mad at me. Do you know what I'm saying?
I would say what they expect in return is too much, though.
But then it's up to you. It's up to you to sign that, and that's what the deal is. Like, that's not my fault. I've written it on a piece of paper. You come to me, I'm gonna give you, say, like, to keep the math simple, £100, and in return you give me £1,000. It sounds crazy, but I put it in a contract. Yeah. You signed it. That's not on me. That's on you to sign. I
definitely think artists need to take some accountability for sort of agreeing to these dodgy deals and stuff. But I think just now, especially with all the information that's available out there, I just feel like something has to change. I don't know if there's like a union for artists or something, but like something has to change because it's just, there's too many examples of, and even massive artists like Megan Thee Stallion with the other day, not the other day, but like a few months ago, was talking about how she only made like 15K or something off her first project. She made something tiny off of her first project, and the label ate all of it. Which, to be fair, if you come to someone and you're just, listen, I've got some dope freestyles out there, and they're picking up traction, I feel like I can be a massive artist. They still have, it's a massive risk on their part. They have to put.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And remember, labels sign a ton of people hoping that one will pop. So they've still got to pay for the little artists as well, you know? So it's like they'll grab like a bunch of artists, say like, I don't know, to keep the math simple, 100 artists, hoping that one of them will pop. But they've still got to pay for 99 other artists, even if that one artist does pop. So they need to take money from that artist to cover the expenses of the other artists. So so it's like, you know, like obviously, you know, like, like people are against labels, whatever, but you have to understand like the business model as well. Do you know what I mean? And at the same time, like I was talking about this the other day, when it comes to business, there's not supposed to be emotion with it. You're not supposed to, you know, share emotion with business. That's why, like, you know, when it comes to trading stocks and stuff, that's why like a lot of stockbrokers go broke and a lot of traders go broke, is because like they trade off of emotions. You can't trade off of emotions. It's the same thing for business. You can't do business off of emotions, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to be completely emotionless. So when it comes to like the labels, of course they're going to move cold-hearted because it's business. So like if I start a clothing line, you're my bro and whatever, but you can't expect to get 50% off of me just because you're my bro. Like, this is a business we're talking about. Do you know what I mean? So you need to understand I have expenses too. Yeah. That t-shirt must have cost might have cost me God knows how much. My profit margin might not even be that high. And then you're still coming and asking me for discount? Do you know what I'm saying? So like that's what I'm saying. Like, just because you're my bro, like, you know, you're my bro, look after me, whatever. But business is business, and to be good at business, you can't attach emotions to it. So it's just like you gotta, like, you know, like we look at it from like the artist perspective, but you have to understand the label's perspective as well. And as an artist, obviously, I would look at it from the artist perspective, but as a business owner as well, I look at it from a business perspective.
I think I just think it's good that even if Kanye doesn't succeed and get his masters back or whatever, I think it's good that at least some more of a spotlight, because it's not like Kanye's saying anything new. People have been talking about this forever. People have been talking about it all the time. But I think somebody like Kanye just sort of drives home the point that even the most successful, because you can't, like, Kanye is effectively the most successful musician. Like, he reached the pinnacle of
for sure. Long time ago.
Yeah, like everyone else. Like the pinnacle that any artist would be aiming for, Kanye's reached it. And if even he's complaining, that shows that something's deeply wrong. And at least it will sort of get people to be a bit more, when they come to sign and stuff, they'll be a bit more wary about it. And also, I think it'll shift the perspective. Like, you see when people sign a deal and they celebrate, oh, I've signed with blah, 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 I think, obviously, the overwhelming reaction is usually one of like, congratulations, well done, blah, blah, blah. But I think sort of, obviously, they're not going to reveal the details of their deal, but just sort of looking to see, rather than rushing to heap praise on them for signing, sort of looking to see what kind of deal it is, because there's a lot of people that celebrate when they sign. A couple years down the line, they're like, brother, I wish I'd never signed that thing. Like, look at Nadia Rose. She hasn't been able to drop me. I mean, she dropped something in summer, but prior to that, she hadn't been able to drop for a couple of years because the label was there blocking her and everything. And like, now you might even argue that she sort of missed her window of when she was most popping. Because when she had sort of some songs that were popping, the label blocked her from putting anything else up. So, but yeah, no, I think that's
like they use manipulation tactics. So I've been reading the 48 Laws of Power, right? Okay. And if you read the 48 Laws of Power, like, you understand, you know, like, manipulation tactics, but there's a lot of like manipulated people in our society that we come across every day that may manipulate us even subconsciously. And, you know, they might not even know that they're manipulating us, but they're manipulating us. But whenever it comes to like, you know, like the top CEOs of the world, like, they're very manipulative people. Like, people that argue that like they have psychopathic tendencies, because they do. They have psychopathic tendencies, but that links back to business and having no emotion with the business. So I feel like when it comes to labels, they definitely use certain principles in the 48 Laws of Power. Like, they use deceit, like they use this, they use that to drag you in and to get you in. And then as soon as you're in and as soon as you sign that line, it's like that's why they call it selling your soul, because you've already signed that dotted line. Do you know what I mean? Like, that signature means everything. Do you know what I mean? And then it's just like, okay, because you sign that line, now they can really manipulate you. You know, if you're talking about like leaving a label, okay, we're not gonna let you drop anything. If you're talking about this and that, okay, like, you know, like we're gonna mess up your budget. You know, like you've already made us some money. We don't have to make you any more money. Do you know what I'm saying? So like they can really be manipulative like that. That's why like it's important for artists to understand the deals that they're signing as well. Because I've spoke to UK artists and I've asked them, what deal did you sign? They don't even know the deal themselves.
I mean, this
and I'm
is
like,
what,
that's crazy.
This is what Joe.
And I've heard like one artist, I'm not trying to say his name, but from the UK saying that he that his label takes 80% of his streaming income, and he only takes 20%. 80%.
And the streaming income isn't even mad like that either. So
I'm like, that's insane. I don't know what deal that was, but it's crazy. And especially like when it comes to 360 deals, sometimes it's like, even if you have like a business outside music, like they can still take profits from that.
That's what's
it's like they own you.
To a 360 though, like what
like the 360 was like everything, like merch, streaming, merch, streaming, shows, everything.
Because they realize that
even
you're making majority of their money.
Basically, you're saying like
pretty
much all profits that come in.
Yeah, because they realize that artists making
even
the
from
majority
other
of their money
business,
as a brand.
Exactly, but even from other business, if you was to set up another business, even they can still take money from that, even if it's not music related.
That's what Spotify was trying to do to Joe Budden and them lot. They were trying to take money off of Rory's Lollapalooza thing. It's like, bro,
Spotify.
It's like he's had this thing like, yo, trying to take money of that, trying to take money.
Let's just see what they say.
Bro, and he was like, bro, I've been doing this for like, are you dumb? Like, do you listen to my podcast? I've said about how shit 360s are. You think I'm just gonna sign everything away like that?
But their perspective is probably the one from the perspective like the reason you're
popping the way you are
is so big, or the reason you're like Lollapalooza is so big is because of the visibility we've given you through the podcast. So I mean, that's their perspective.
Yeah.
That's their perspective.
That's the thing. I don't know how true that is, man. I think definitely in a lot of cases at the start it would definitely be, you know, if we didn't throw this mad marketing budget behind you, then you wouldn't get to this level. But also in a lot of times it's like that's the whole point of recouping. Like all the money they pour in for you to put out the album and everything, you make that back off the album. So now that I've made, it's a bit like if I paid a mortgage on the house here and then I finally paid off the mortgage and the bank still owns the house, I'll be vexed. I'll be like, bro, so why was I paying this thing back? Like,
No, but the bank makes interest, right? They don't just earn it back.
Yeah, there's an interest. But even once you recoup and you've paid off all the interest, everything, like they still don't give you back the masters. And then, so it's like, so why am I recouping? Why am I paying you back if you're gonna keep it anyway? Like,
yeah.
Because I think labels, you know, like they want like lifelong relationships from the artist. Because if the artist is giving them the bag, then why are they just gonna, you know, stop getting the bag when they can still receive the bag?
That's why even when Kanye has the money to buy the masters back, the masters are worth half a billion.
Because they can do that, yeah, like they can do that now anyway. Because they're like, well, we own your masters,
yeah, we don't.
So we have something on you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So then,
I mean, it's just happened with what's his name, Diddy and Mace.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's yeah, man. I don't know. It's like there's a lot of angles you could take with it, looking at it as well. Because if you look at the demographic that owns these labels compared to the demographic that are making the music.
Exactly.
Well, there's a whole aspect.
Everybody knows about that. Everybody knows about that. But like sometimes you gotta look at it like, you know, like I agree with obviously, you know, like what you're talking about with the Spotify and Joe Budden stuff. Sometimes it is like, well, it's like if you keep going, you know, your own way, like you might not have got all of the success that you have. Do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes like you do kind of need to, I wouldn't say you do need to, but like taking certain steps and going on certain platforms would for sure help you. Yeah. And it's like if it wasn't for those steps or that platform, then you wouldn't have gotten to the place that you are today. Do you know what I mean? And that's just what it is. So at the same time, like, you know, sometimes you got to kind of like count your losses and look at it like, well, like I wouldn't have made $1 million if I didn't, you know, sign to this label. Even though they made $5 million off of me, I might not have made $1 million in the independent route.
No, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So you've got to kind of like look at things like that and like weigh it out. So that's what I mean. Like it all depends like what you want. You know, like you might have wanted to make $1 million all your life and you signed in that deal, you made $1 million, like you've already accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. Do you know what I mean? But then you could be somebody else where it's like, you just want to make as much money as you want. So you look at that $1 million like it's petty, like I made $1 million, but I want to make $1 billion type thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, like it depends on like what angle you're kind of approaching it on. And at the same time, like a lot of these labels, as I said, like they have ownership over you, so they can tell you when to drop things. They tell you the type of music to make, the type of artists to do features with, what to wear, Again, manipulation.
Yeah.
They control you.
I mean, it goes into like literally every industry. I mean, I saw a video the other day. It was Big Nasty talking about his show, the Big Nasty Show on Channel 4.
Oh yeah, now my boy was talking about this.
You're saying the stuff that they offered him, everything they offered him.
They offered him like 2K for a series or something.
They wanted to offer him $1 grand an episode and stuff, and then he was just saying no. He kept saying no, etc. They kept coming back, increasing the budget. Even though he kept saying no, we prefer if we could see the budget before we make a decision on how much to sign for. And they'll leave and they're not coming to tell him the budget. They just because like these lot have peas to give us. And I'm thinking, fam, if we're the ones making the view, I mean, I'm not an artist and stuff, but I don't have a show or anything. But if I'm the one making the content, I should be making the majority of what's going on. Like you guys technically you guys are helping me. You're working for me. So why am I not making the most? But yeah, man, I'm all here for Kanye and his cultural communism, man. I'm on it, man. I'm on it.
But the 48 Laws of Power talks about that. Like they talk about kind of like putting out a figure, and then when somebody hears a figure, kind of pulling back, because then it's like, how do I explain it? Because then it's like, so like, all right, so you basically make somebody feel like they need you more than you need them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you'll put out a figure like, do you know what? Like, I'll give you, say, like 2K for this episode, and I can do X, Y, Z for you that will get you here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then he's like thinking, and then you just pull back. You just go like, okay, well, do you know what? Like, you took too long to get, to contact me back, whatever. You fall back. Then now the other person's in like scarcity mode, innit? Because they're thinking, damn. And then when they come back to you, then you'd be like, well, look, like it's gonna have to be 6K now because I offered you 2K before, but you didn't want it. Do you know what I mean? And you still kind of play off of the hope that if you sign for this, I can get you that. Do you know what I mean? And if they don't take it there, you do the same thing again. You'd be like, well, now it's gonna be, like 10K, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Well, actually, in this situation, you're going back down. So you'd be like, rather than 2K, it'll be 500 now, and it'll be like 100 now, and da. So that's kind of like how it works. But that's like another manipulation tactic that a lot of people don't know about. Do you know what I mean? So that's why it's so important to do things DIY, because at least you understand skill as well. And do you know what I mean? It might take you even longer, but at least you haven't got to worry about people controlling you or whatever. And you might just make enough to get by, but at least you have freedom. Like, and freedom is the most important thing. Freedom. And
I remember I watched the episode of Half Past Podcast not too long ago.
I watch that all the time.
Yeah, Poet was on it, and I mean, Poet. I'm not always the biggest fan of him because I feel like he chats a lot of shit, and I feel like he always goes on the most roundabout route to get to whatever point he's trying to make. But he did say something on one episode. They were talking about the Joe Budden thing, and they were talking, and he was, they were talking about Kanye, I think, and he was talking about, basically he said, if you don't have a plan, you're part of someone else's plan, which really sort of sat with me, because I'm like, it's true. If you come into this thing and think, I just want to blow and stuff, but you don't have some sort of plan, they're going to use you. And then not only that as well, he talked about when he takes these meetings with, big sort of production companies, big TV channels, whatever, he always tells them to come and meet at his yard. And they were saying, oh, why not come to the office, everything. And he basically said, like you were saying, the manipulation tactics and all that kind of stuff. He's like, it's
more
kind
personal.
of, it's like if he's having to step into their space,
it's more personal.
They've already got a sort of dominant in the interaction. They're kind of dominant. Whereas if he's in his yard, he said, "Listen, I'm comfortable. I'm here in my pajamas. You guys are the ones that are uncomfortable in my house."
Exactly.
And it's like now let's talk business and stuff. And I think that was very telling to me.
It's good that he knew that though, because a lot of people didn't know that.
No, and it's
the same thing
out there so that other people can understand.
Other people can understand. Like, see, but that's a manipulation tactic.
Yeah, because everyone's wearing a suit and it's a big office and everything doesn't mean you should sell yourself short.
Again, perception as well. It's perception as well. Like, just because you see them in suits and everything in a big office, it's perception. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So actually the 48 Laws of Power, they talk about something else. It's like, if somebody takes you out on the mill and offers to pay for your food, don't take it. Because as soon as you take it, then they're like, okay, well, I know that he likes freebies, like he likes free stuff, You know what I mean? I know that I can give out a little something and he's going to take it. Yeah. So don't take it. And then they'll feel like, because...
I might still take the free meal, but
and then they'll be like, no, but like they can understand that, like they can understand your character. And then they'll be like, well, because I've done this for you, you got to do something for me now. Do you know what I mean?
That's what people think.
I'll be like, no, it is though. The thing is, that's
what people think, bro.
Depends what you want.
Yeah, but
That's what I was saying,
that's how the average man would think. You give me something, I have to give you something back. Because then you'll feel bad, like, oh well, he did, like, he did give me this and da. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like how it is. That's another manipulation.
You make a good point, man. About it's what depends what you want. I think my point is, I want people to want more for themselves, especially artists and stuff. I want them to want more than just getting a gold chain or getting a whip or whatever. I want them to want more because I feel like
assets. It's about
because I feel like it affects all of us as well. If they're signing away all their ownership in this thing, then we come to. I mean, I remember seeing it all the time when during the whole Black Lives Matter protests and stuff, people posting stuff. They say like, black culture keeps the world moving, etc. They say, how can you care about so much about our culture but not about our lives? And I'm thinking, brother, we don't own the culture, so obviously like it's not like there's anything stopping them from coming in,
we were talking about
the
this
music,
yesterday
and
as
not
well.
caring about black lives and stuff. So it's like
talking about this yesterday
some of the onus needs to go on the artists and stuff for signing away all the ownership so that they can get a whip or some chains or whatever, because it's like you can't do that, sign everything away, then turn around and be like, oh, you guys consume the songs but you don't care about black issues and stuff like that. That's what I kind of just, even though I understand, it depends on what people want. I want people to want more for themselves.
For themselves, yeah, exactly. So I feel like, but remember, like, if people don't educate themselves, then they'll never know this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so important. That's why it's so important to read.
There's no excuse for not educating yourself. Because
there's no excuse, bro. People think...
it's not like you have to go uni to learn this stuff. This stuff is
100%.
No, but that's what I'm saying, right? Like, if you
I probably know more things than the average person that goes to uni. You know what I mean? Because I read a lot of books, I watch a lot of podcasts.
No, I'm just saying, if you educate yourself and you know how it works, and you decide, like, I would rather take the deal, and like...
Yeah, man, that's
manage the things for me, and they're gonna take a cut, but I might like potentially have a bigger earning potential.
Yeah. More power to you. I don't
unless you want people, because then you have to change the way that people think about money, and that's not specific to music. That's just in general.
That's business.
But the thing is, as well, though, even if you do all the educating and everything, I don't believe anyone that's done the educating and stuff will like educate themselves about everything, will turn around and say, I want to take a 20% cut and let the label have 80%.
If I tell you that 20% cut is still equates to you getting $1 million versus doing it yourself, probably you're...
My point is, it's not one or the other. It's not like do it all yourself, but it's just like negotiating so you get...
Yeah, there's negotiations, but I'm just saying, like, I would assume there are some benefits of signing with the label. You get the budget,
there is.
You get someone who plans your stuff out.
There's definitely benefits.
So it's just like it would have to be dependent on just a lot of things have to change. You know what I mean? Like, it's a start. It's definitely a start. We should educate people, but like a lot of things will have to change.
But then again, like, it does depend on how you use your money as well, So you can be an artist that has an 80-20% deal, but if you invest your money in the right things, you might boost up that 20% to another 80%. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So then,
that's what Kanye did, and now he's got the money to try and buy it back. But they say
exactly.
Yeah, because for the label, they're saying that these masters are worth more.
Exactly. And they own it. And they own it, so they can sell it. Exactly. It's like you're trying to buy it back from me. It's like you sell me this bottle right here. You know what I mean? I brought this bottle for £1, and then you really want this bottle back. I can sell it to you for £20. And you're looking at me like, what? But like, you bought it for £1. I don't care. This is my bottle now. I own it. If you want it, you gotta buy it for £20. I'm sorry, but you do, because this is my bottle now. I own it. It's only fair. It's crazy.
No, but it's even more than that. Like, if he's willing to buy it for $500 million, that means it currently is worth $500 million. So then they're saying, on top of that, all of the future stuff that like like the radio play is going to get in the future, the advertising is good, like projects is going to be on in the future in terms of samples, etc. That they might be saying, I think it's worth more than what you are willing to pay for it. Like, so, but that's what I'm saying, because Kanye is like, off of that, whatever the deal he signed, he then went on to do so much stuff, right? Like, he got that clout. Now he's doing Yeezys. Now he's doing 100 other things, right? I mean, so then what you have to say is like, because from the label's perspective, and I'm not even trying to take the label side. I'm just trying to like,
give a different perspective.
yeah, from the label's perspective, you could look at it like, I mean,
you wouldn't have made that without me.
Like I don't see why you have an issue. Like the weird like reason that you're at the level you're playing at today. So
yeah, I mean,
trying to buy these things back. That like there's like my return on what I paid for you.
Yeah, that's true. Because the label's not obliged. I remember on that episode that of thing, the half cast, Poet was trying to make it out like the labels have to listen to Kanye. I'm thinking, bro, they can air him for the next 100 years. But I think we'll wrap it up there. But good conversation.
Very good conversation.
Acesiz, great to have you on, man. It's always glad to chat to you. Always give always dropping gems, man. Always dropping gems. I remember last time you talked a lot about networking, but this time
I'll forever drop gems, man. Trust me, that's just the kind of character that I am.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to sort of plug? Anything you want to talk about?
Music wise, I have written a few songs. I'm not gonna lie, so I have a few songs written there on my phone, like ready to record.
Okay.
It's just when I'm going to record, because obviously because of the lockdown or whatever. I'm not using the lockdown as an excuse, because even before the lockdown, I haven't really been too active. But during the lockdown, obviously the studio was closed, and my engineer now, he's thinking about getting into management and maybe not even engineering anymore. So, you know, like his studio times here, there, and everywhere. I got to book a certain amount of days in advance now to even get a slot. And it's like when it comes to music as well, like you have to be in the right mood. You have to have the right kind of inspiration to make certain songs. So, but like, you know, like I want to do that, but then again, it's like I'm still so deeply ingrained in my other focus that it's like I'm just trying to see how I'm gonna do that transition, because I don't want to just come out with a song and then not drop another song again for another year. You know, I don't like that. I like to be consistent. So, but yeah, I mean, for sure, soon something will come, but I can't put a date on that. But content-wise, I'm definitely planning on putting out content, you know, like within the next few days, you know what I mean? If not tomorrow, because we're doing this right now. Hopefully this drops today, then I'll plug this one on my YouTube. I'll put it on the community post. I'll plug this one on my YouTube. But yeah, you know, I definitely plan on making more content, because it's like with me, like I never stop dropping content. It's just like I might drop content on different channels, you know what I mean, different platforms, sorry. So like on Twitter, I might drop certain things. And then if you got my Snapchat, which everyone watching this should go add Acesiz Official, I do different things on my Snapchat. So yesterday I was talking all about the 48 laws of power, the art of seduction, the art of war, the 50th law, etc., etc. I was talking about all that stuff on my Snapchat, but it's like I didn't put that on my YouTube. Do you know what I mean? So like in different places, you talk about different things. So that's why it's so important, if you are willing to lock in with an artist or just anyone that you follow or that you like, to follow them on numerous platforms, because, you know, they drop things on different places. But for YouTube, for sure, I'm definitely planning on dropping more content on there, more reaction videos, maybe even just discussions or whatever. Because I remember I was doing like little discussions, like kind of like just talking about like, I don't know, like the difference between an abundant mindset and a scarcity mindset. Just different things like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like I want to make more videos like that, and I just want to provide value, man. For me, I'm all about providing value. So anyway, I can provide value and help somebody else out and better somebody else's life, then I'm down.
I hear that, man. I hear that. I mean, you're here, man. We're always supporting.
Love, man. But yeah, it is Acesiz Official on all platforms, and you know, like if you guys want to check out my music as well, it's Acesiz on all, you know, streaming platforms, be it Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, Deezer, Napster, iHeartRadio, whatever the hell it is that you use, like it's there. You don't want to talk about Brooklyn real quick? So obviously, like, like Brooklyn, I made that track in New York when I went out there, September 2019. I did go out there to make more music, but obviously, you know, people have other things going on in their life and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, as we all do. So sometimes you might plan something and it doesn't quite go to plan. But I put out other content as well. Anyway, you can go on my YouTube channel, you see the vlogs I put out, etc., etc. But yeah, man, I had a good time out there. I went New York, I went Philly. So I plan to go out to America again next year. But I plan to go to Atlanta this time, you know, like I've never been to Atlanta before. So I plan to go to Atlanta or LA, one of the two. Maybe even both, who knows. But yeah, for me, you know, like I definitely try to go to the States every year. Since 2017, I have been going consistently. So you're definitely going to see more content there. But yeah, Brooklyn, you know, like I made that out in Flatbush, New York, with my boy Swayze McGrady and two twins called The One Way. And yeah, you know, he took his time to get it back to me, but you know, he done what he done. He got it back to me, and then I dropped it. You know, so for us, it's just like, you know, like maybe like the standard of like the audio quality may not have been like there, but he's just like, you know what, like it's a good song. Just put it out. You know, sometimes it's not always about, you know, having the most finest, you know, quality anything. Sometimes people just want content. So we put that song out, and yeah, people like it. So that's the concept behind that. And I guess like Brooklyn, I don't know, like it probably just came from them being in Brooklyn and the guy coming up with a hook like, yeah, you know, we out here in Brooklyn, da 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 da. Then I kind of came in with the UK sound, and then I spoke about the concept Brooklyn, then I added it with like, you know, the UK spin. But yeah.
Yeah, my GG wagon,
yeah, and to be honest, I actually wanted to talk about Black History Month, because obviously
Let's go.
Black History Month, but we don't really have time. I need to.
That's cool, man. Yeah, like I actually got to go as well, because I got something to do at 4. So
we'll probably get into that in another episode.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, in terms of from us, we got some stuff coming. I think basically we got the videos from our event last year. I've managed to track them down. It's hard to get them, so I think I'm gonna release them gradually over the month. But yeah, it's like a year. It's better late than never, kind of figured it. So
should get Shay Biz on here soon, man.
Yeah, no, I need to shout him. I saw him at Carnival last year.
He's everywhere. He's like me. He's everywhere.
You know what? Yeah. Going Carnival as a 6'6" guy is a different experience, bro. I've never done it myself, but I can think from the girls are around him, I said, bro, this guy. But anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be able to relate. I'm 5'10".
No, I can't relate, man. I digress. Anyway, yeah, so thanks for listening, everyone.
Yep.
You've listened to 2Gs in a pod. We'll be back soon, and we're going to leave you with Brooklyn by Acesiz.
Cheers.
2 G's on the belt, yeah, I'm feeling this girl, and I'm feeling myself.